Balenciaga. Yet another reminder of why I should peek while I'm ahead or hold off until everything has gone down and then make a video. So let's start talking about Balenciaga for a second. Now, for those of you who don't know, Balenciaga is a Paris fashion house, I guess you should call it, but it's not really, is it? It was created in 1919 by Cristobal Balenciaga in San Sebastian, Spain. It didn't go to Paris until 1937. However, by all views of pretty much everybody that's anybody in the fashion industry, Balenciaga was a stickler for he was very much attention to detail oriented. He was the kind of guy that I think would have a big problem with the outrage marketing that has plagued Balenciaga for a while. Now, this particular story that we're talking about today involves an ad campaign for, I believe it was Holiday, where they had a child holding a very interesting teddy bear. I'm not going to get into the specifics because I don't want to get demonetized, but let's just say the outfit the teddy bear was wearing was controversial. But also, in that same campaign, they had a purse with some papers strewn about. The papers were a lawsuit that was basically trying to make child sensitive images legal. Yes, I'm having a hard time doing this one. Anyway, so the thing about it is that a very astute observer noticed that there was another side of the campaign where you could see a young lady with her legs up on a desk, and there was a book somewhere around her, and that book features an artist that I don't even know how to say this. The book depicted mutilated children. Let's just say it what it is. Balenciaga then deleted all their posts from their Instagram account and left an apology, which they issued, which I'm not going to bother reading because whenever I see one of these half-ass apologies, and then you'll see why I'm saying half-ass, I'm not gonna read it. Then they proceeded to sue the ad company that created the ads, which begs the question, did you not authorize the ads? Because it would seem to me that if they were displayed in your Instagram account, that means that you were okay with them before the controversy. Then their photographer also decided to separate himself from the controversy, and again, beg the question, you're a photographer, you're giving all these props and you're told what you're supposed to do. When do you draw the line between I want to make money and I don't want to be involved in anything that looks like this? But this is not the first time Balenciaga has gotten in trouble for stuff like this. No. Let's take a look back at a couple of instances where, Now, we have 2017. The casting directors were accused of mistreating models for their fashion shows, and they fired them, and there was a large controversy about that. Also, in 2017, they were accused of cultural appropriation for using the Rough Riders logo on their merchandise. In 2018, they had already ruffled the feathers of many because they had moved their production to China, but then they proceeded to upset the Chinese audience because there was a video where a young Chinese man was escorted very, shall we say, abruptly out of the premises of their Paris high-end mall. In 2021, again accused of cultural appropriation for creating sweatpants that featured what looked like underwear peeking through the top. And then earlier this year, they got busted for these distressed, I want to call, sneakers that they featured in their Paris collection. Now, both of these last two instances Also, we're kind of bringing attention to the idea of poor as an aesthetic. You know, it's okay to look poor, not okay to be poor. The company charges over $1,000 for both the sweatpants and the sneakers separately. So basically, you're cosplaying poor, and that's supposed to be okay with you. Now, I forgot to mention the fact that one of their leading designers was featured in an ad, not an ad, but a picture of herself completely dressed in red, holding two red babies. Now, I did not add that because I couldn't stomach it to watch it, so I definitely could not stomach to show it to you. But she also had an Instagram account which has now gone private, where she featured a lot of images that were very disturbing and included children and blood, and I'm not going to get into the specific details. Why am I mentioning all this? Now, I had decided not to make the video yet because I wanted to do a video where I feature a lot of other companies that are into this outrage marketing thing, because that seems to be the way of the world since the 2000s started. I hate outrage marketing. To be honest with you, outrage marketing is something that, I thought it was funny when, in the beginning, when Jeffree Star was doing it. But then after a while, it gets tiring because, every time he wanted to promote one of his palettes, he would go into some kind of controversy. And it seems to me that a lot of companies, a lot of high-end companies, which is the part that shocks me the most, like Balenciaga and others, I'm not going to get into the others now, they seem to thrive on this outrage marketing. And I'm assuming that is because the younger generations are into PR, promotion, marketing, and they have decided that this is the way to go. And somehow they convince the other generations to follow along. I don't know how sustainable the model is, and I'm going to tell you why. If you've noticed, in the case of Jeffree Star, for example, it worked for a while and then it stopped working. I mean, Jeffree can get in the biggest scandal of his life right now, and he's not going to sell any more makeup than he did before. I can go on and on about how many... Kanye West. He pretty much lost all his endorsements because he went into this whole outrage. And of course, he's claiming those are his political views. But this is the same guy that went on a fundraiser and called George Bush all kinds of names because, according to him, George Bush didn't care about black people. But now he is on that side of politics. I mean, I'm not going to get into politics on this video. All I want you to understand is this. In my opinion, and before you say, well, you're not an expert, this happens to be the one area where I kind of sort of am, because this is what I studied. And this is what I have kept on studying, because I'm one of those fortunate few people that graduated from marketing and have had some sort of marketing job my entire life. Yeah, I personally don't think outrage marketing is sustainable. And here's my thing. I am very clear that, especially in the United States, we live in a society that only cares for short-term goals and not long-term goals. But Balenciaga, like I mentioned in the beginning, and that's exactly why I mentioned it, has been going strong or going on since the 1990s. This is a place that has been around for over 100 years. They have an image to protect, and they have decided to go with outrage marketing. And now that it's looking like people are not very accepting of their outrage marketing, now they want to backtrack. My advice to any company that cares about their reputation is not to start outrage marketing at all. I can't wait to hear what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching, and have a nice day.